Ukraine's Alexander Usyk won his rematch against Anthony Joshua by split decision in Saudi Arabia on Sunday to set up a potential unification bout with Britain's Tyson Fury. The former cruiserweight world champion, who dismantled the holder in London last year, faced an improved Joshua, but outboxed him once again in just his fourth heavyweight bout. Usyk, now unbeaten at 20-0, immediately called out Fury, who announced his latest retirement earlier this month, but has signaled his willingness to resume his career. Victory over the 6'9" Fury will unite all four heavyweight belts and constitute a crowning glory for the sublime Ukrainian, a former outstanding amateur and Olympic heavyweight champion. The judges scored the bout 113-115, 115-113, and 116-112 for Usyk, as Joshua narrowed the gap but was still found wanting.
Everything he does, Vladimir Putin, is just to show that he's strong, but he's not, otherwise he wouldn't do that and wouldn't show how strong and big he is. In reality he is weak. Thank God, the belt is going back to Ukraine, the victory is with us and Ukraine won.
Україна переможе.
У мене до нього повага.
I feel nothing but respect for Anthony Joshua. I saw him a bit emotional, I saw him bullying some of my teammates and that would look like a fight, which I don't recommend him to do as most of them are horrible street fighters.
То, що в мене половина команди це стрітфайтери.
It wasn't enough, but I left everything in the gym. If I would have left everything in the ring, I would have won, but I definitely pushed myself in training camp to make sure the fight was more competitive tonight. Am I proud of myself? It's really, really hard for me to say I'm proud of myself. I don't feel anything. I'm upset, really, like deep down in my heart. Like, oh man, I was mad, like at myself, not anyone, just at myself. So I thought, I've got to get out of here because I'm mad, like. And like anyone, when you're angry, you might do stupid things. So I was mad. But then I realized, oh shit, this is sport. Let me do the right thing and come back. And then I just spoke from my heart. Like it's been so tough. Like you see AJ holding it together, yeah. And I'm a hustler, so I try and put things together. Like I try to work hard, put things together, make sure my team's good. But it comes.
All right, sports correspondent Aaron Akerijola joins us now. Aaron, a few days ago when we were discussing this, we said, well, if our compatriot Anthony Joshua loses, what will be the implications for him? And you said, well, it will be difficult for him to get up again. Do you still stand by that? Or he has a chance now that he says he will fight again by November, December?
Yeah, he has a chance, but when you look at it, he would only fight losers. At the moment, the fight and the talk about those dominating the heavyweight category right now lies with Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua doesn't fall into that equation. It's unfortunate now. I've been thinking about this, and sometimes that when you try to overmanage things, you get yourself into where you find yourself because you cannot overmanage things. Eddie Hearn, partly to blame for all this, because he had an opportunity back in the day when Tyson Fury was still very much retired to go against a particular bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. They kept on pushing the can down the road, they kept on kicking the can down the road, and ultimately they felt Andy Ruiz would just be another walk in the park, another number to be counted amongst his wins. And that shock came. Ever since then, Anthony Joshua has been wobbling. We know in 2019, he actually got his belt back, and look at where he is right now, going against Alexander Usyk, one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world, without a doubt. He improved from the last fight. That was said. It was a much improved fight. It was a closer contest, but still, a lot of people expected Anthony Joshua to rise to the occasion, but you cannot give what you don't have. And it's unfortunate that Alexander Usyk, he didn't need to do anything spectacular. He just needed to stick to the script that he played in the first fight, and In the second fight, he came out tops. If Anthony Joshua was probably a grittier, a dirtier fighter than he is, he's a nice gentleman. Probably he might have been able to win, because I said on Friday that a lot of people had been circulating videos about Alexander Usyk. Every time he was actually put on the canvas, or he was actually in a very uncomfortable situation, there were a lot of body shots involved. Anthony Joshua tried to mix it up. It's ruffled the feathers of Alexander Usyk, but he didn't do that enough. He didn't do that enough. We know he had 1 or 2 rounds, but when you look at it, ultimately, Anthony Joshua didn't do enough. And to make matters worse, the show of shame at the end of the fight was completely unnecessary.
Well, what do you think of his emotional reaction? He took 2 belts and threw them down, walked away, but he then came back and said that was emotional, and then more or less apologized.
I don't know which was...
Did you think that made up for it?
Doctor, I don't know which was worse. The throwing of the belt or the 2 minutes rant that did not even achieve nothing. Clearly, his guys did not gather him together. Clearly, Anthony Joshua was very, very emotional about this fight. He was more emotional about the outcome of the fight than the fight itself. That was why, at the end, he just went into a complete meltdown, throwing the belts out unnecessarily. Why do you do that? For what? Who does that? Anthony Joshua is the calm, composed human being, the man that everybody loves to actually be around. All of a sudden, we see Anthony Joshua literally having a massive meltdown, a show of shame. Some say some of the stupidest acts they've seen in boxing at the highest level. Because you can put that side by side with Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, when Tyson decided to probably go cannibalistic against Holyfield by chopping off his ear.
But champions are also human beings, so champions can also cry.
No, champions should cry. It's part of the sport. Winning and losing is part of the sport. As they say, in a game of sports, there are 3 outcomes, only 3 outcomes. A win, a loss, and a draw. So one way or the other, it has to go one way. Unfortunate for Anthony Joshua, probably because he carried the burden that was being said, which is rightly so. That right now that he has actually fallen off the pedestal, it will be difficult to get back to the top. He will need to fight probably 3 or 4 people before he can get a contention to fight the biggest guys in the game again. It might include, who knows, maybe a Dillian White, even maybe a Deontay Wilder. But you cannot be talking about the biggest fights right now and be mentioning Anthony Joshua. He knows this. And probably that's what weighed heavy on him. He was in tears. He had to hold back tears in the press conference. That was how much pressure he put on himself. Sometimes you just need to go out there, do the business. Like he said, he left all in the gym, but he didn't leave all on the ring.
Okay. Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Will it happen? And if it happens, where will you put your bet?
Of course, it's going to be Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a smarter boxer. Tyson Fury is a more imposing boxer. People kept on saying it, that Anthony Joshua did not know his strengths. Anthony Joshua is a bigger guy than than Alexander Usyk. Usyk, trying to level that up, decided to add some pounds to himself to ensure that he was able to cover that deficit. He didn't even lean on him, because one thing Tyson Fury would do, Tyson Fury knows how to fight dirty. He doesn't need to fight pretty. He doesn't need to be the showmaster. All he needs to do is get the results. And Tyson Fury is a man that has shown that he can get the result when it is needed. He did that against Deontay Wilder in the trilogy. And right now against Alexander Usyk, Usyk is a good boxer. But one thing is certain, Tyson Fury will not allow him box. He has done that to the Klitschko brothers. Tyson Fury has proven time and time again that he knows what to do to get across the finish line. Anthony Joshua has shown that he does not know what to do. He changed his trainer. He brought in Robert Garcia. Things were improved, but that was not enough. You need to be lethal. At this level, he cannot be the nice guy. He wants to be a nice guy and still dominate the heavyweight. I don't know. Well, that's illusion, disillusion.
Well, thank you very much, Aaron Akejola. Well, we would have preferred, Anthony Joshua.
I was hoping, for once, I was hoping that he will win, but he was unraveled.
Well, thank you very much.